technology. But somewhere we have lost the path on understanding what does the end customer want. How can we build companies that can go global, that can scale globally, if we do not build products that solve the problem? How can technology be the only initiator in going to the customer? What you do in your lab or in your office is great. We really appreciate that. But how does it change or impact the life of the customer? And that is where Cron Systems came in. That is what our key differentiator was. And that's what made it easy for us to penetrate into the market. In 6 months, when I came back, we got a pilot, and we were competing against the likes of a Tata. Now, for most startups, it's such a big fear we have. We're saying, firing is going on, India-Pakistan border, everything is going wrong, and then you're competing against the like of company like Tata. So how do you fight a Tata when you're a small company in a market that is so regulated that you can't even buy a bolt from a China, let's say? How do you capture a market like this? And that's where the journey gets interesting. That's where you realize you can create such high barriers to entry that you could probably be the game changers or the leaders in a very short span of time and capture a global market as well. Because if you can somehow understand capturing the complex market of India, understanding the complex geographical issues of India, then you can capture the world. Africa, Middle East, Bangladesh. It's all so much simpler than what we are competing against here. So why and how do you defeat a Tata, or how do you go on to competing with a Tata is the important part. A Tata, a large organization, needs all the bulk to move for a single product to move forward. As a startup, your strength is being lean, and that is what we took in our stride. Fundraising in a market where there are so many regulations always going to be complex. Fundraising for a product which people do not understand is always going to be the complex part. But that is not something that should stop you from moving forward. That never stopped us. And soon you will find those like-minded people who would stand up for you, stand with you in taking you forward. In our case, we found Your Nest as a partner in helping us get the right kind of people on board, get the right kind of money on board, and build the right kind of products. So when you're going against the giants in a complex market, it is very important to understand the people you want to take along in this journey. I see a lot of people who come up to me today who are building products, and we are slightly later stage in this market where, we have got contracts which are over $6 million. We have over $2 million in funding in the accounts already. So I see a lot of new startups coming up, and they meet us. They're building the best drones in the world. And they say, you know what? We don't know who will buy us. We don't have the answer to who will buy us when we are going out to the customer. And I said, why do you want to start a business or start building a product with the mindset of who will buy us? Why do you want to start with a mindset of trying to understand which is the largest global organization which we could become a part of? Why is it not a part of an Indian organization's dream? Or why is it not a trend to aim at becoming that global leader which will acquire those companies? And that is where your mindset makes all the difference. If you can start imagining and dreaming like this, it becomes so much simpler to defeat a Tata or an L&T on ground, because you can understand the end customer's pain points, you can build quicker, you can move faster. Now, after all of this is put together, you come on to the next part, which is scaling up globally. I believe if you can somehow manage to make a small dent in the Indian industry or the ecosystem, the globe is a very simple place to play. For example, we just expanded ourselves into Bangladesh, where we're securing the Rohingya camps. We just moved on to a UAE. We just moved into a Kenya. Now, if I have to think about it, for me to do that first and then come back to India would have been so much more difficult. But once you can start capturing it here, the globe is so much simpler to take care of. If you can solve it here, the world, believe me, is so much of an easier place to play. The competition is so much easier. The complications are 1/5. So focus here to do not start with the simple ideology of who will invest in me, why will somebody invest in me, why and who will acquire me 5 years down the line. Rather start with the ideology, how can I build the best product? How can I make it global? How can I make a dent in industry? What is my revenue model? How can I become a profitable organization? If you answer this, the right partners, the right people will find you themselves. You will not have to go out hunting for those people. You will get those people sitting in your boardrooms. But again, you cannot just depend on them. You cannot just depend on this to start your journey. And that's all from my side. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak today. Thank you.
So, any questions for Mr. Chhabra? Any questions? So, I would like to present a memento to you. Can we have the memento, please? I'll take this opportunity